Brent Abreu, tonight's second place finisher. Plenty of fans here, Brett, and a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I got to shout out the Turn 2 Terribles over there. They're all a bunch of good guys to hang out with and talk to. I really like them.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? My man! I'm on my way to Monday Night Raw.
The second one.
Your choice.
It's a trap.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's setting up fights in the front stretch is what he's trying to do.
Speedway. Got Devin Gordon with us
at Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen.
Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
Yep.
What's up? Monday, October 2nd, 2023. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. We are fresh off a Natty Open weekend. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the upcoming high limit race at Bridgeport, Tuscarora 50 schedule at Port Royal, and the Outlaw weekend there. And we got a lot to catch up on from the National Open. You know, we got a track title. We have a posse non-outlaw sweep / non-outlaw sweep of the podium. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Chris, I like that you kept the setup from Thursday.
Did. Haven't moved a thing. Wish you were here. I had to get a chair so I could feel warm and cozy since you weren't here. So it'll work. I don't know if your name's not Brent Marks, though. If there's a guy in this room that had a better weekend than him, Jeremy.
Maybe Jay-Z.
Pretty good weekend, my guys. Pretty good freaking weekend. I mean, it was everything you want the National Open to be. We got a posse win. My personal favorite driver won. And we had one hell of a crowd at the posse camp, the Turn 2 Terribles camp. The place was packed, pretty good weather. We knew Friday was a little touch and go to begin with. We knew Saturday would look pretty darn good. So pretty much everything we predicted last week happened, with the exception of a couple little items, which we'll get to. But yeah, it was a hell of a weekend for sure.
It was a great weekend. We're going to get into that. As always, make sure you're commenting in the live chat here if you're watching us live. Your questions and your comments, we want to hear from you. We want to get all sides. It helps us form a better opinion too. You know what I mean? Hear what the masses have to think. But yeah.
I kind of want to start with from the end with Brent Marks winning, obviously. But Darren Pittman, dude, led that race. I mean, he came from 5th or 6th. I mean, Brent went from the pole backwards. Both of them drove back up, and they were the show from the second half of that race on. Bridesmaid once again for Darren Pittman.
Is that the 7th? Is that the 7th?
The 6th time he was the
Sixth.
bridesmaid. But I need to go back and look at who he's finished second to. I know Big
Brent.
Fred Raymer was
Big
one.
Fred.
Brent Marks, obviously. I want to say Shots. Kendrick, he's been that guy right behind them. So you feel for him a little bit, but still awesome job by him. Not in the car full time, showing up here, 2 weeks of practice more or less, and boom, second in
Yeah,
a
definitely
52
my
car field.
surprise. Yeah, probably my surprise of the weekend for sure. I think we all 69K, Darren Pittman, great combination. But realistically, does that happen that fast and be that good? I didn't think like in our odds last week, and obviously it would have been an awesome story, still would have been an awesome story, was an awesome story. Everything but the win. I really didn't think he would lead laps in this race. I didn't think he'd run it that like from sixth to the lead in that big of a hurry. Definitely understated the ability and the where the ceiling could be with that
Right.
deal.
It really speaks to how good of a race car driver Darren Pittman is. Like
How
I
good
was
he is
wearing
at
his
Williams Grove too.
I had his
I
hoodie.
know, right? It's almost
I
like
brought
it was a match made in heaven,
I
Jimmy.
brought the hoodie out. Funny, Jeremy, because Jeremy and I were on the Darren Pittman train from the time they were talking about this.
From minute one.
They, anyway, I think the hoodie I have is his last year was supposed to be his retirement year, 25th anniversary. Was that 2018, 2019?
Yeah, he's retired 17 times,
Right.
I think.
Like, he's pulling a Mark Martin, and almost like Mark Martin, almost won the one race that eluded him, and again finished second. But you love it. I love it for Brent Marks though. Like that team, they grind. His second win, second in 4 years. He won my girlfriend's first national open. He won that day too. That was a nuts race. So that was cool, but had to shift. Shout out to Darren Pittman there.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And sorry, Jimmy, I'll just
No, you're good.
kind of talk about it a little bit. And I think we all knew Brent. He won races at Williams Grove this year. Whenever the money's on the line, he's a contender. Time trial was obviously everything. Pulled the pole for the dash, or no, did not pull the pole for the dash. Yeah, right, because he started on the pole. Yeah,
Right. That's how it
so
works.
kind of got out in his heat, got gone in the heat. Was really good. Was really good all night. But I think going into that, they as a team, I think they were reeling just a little bit. I mean, they won some big races this month, but they've had some failures. They've had some parts break. I actually talked to Heath on Friday night, and I said, "Hey, man, I was kind of low key hoping you guys would bring a gold car. Like, I wanted to see it in person. I didn't get to Eldora. I didn't get to Knoxville, and I really wanted to take photos of the gold car." And he
That
said,
would have been cool.
he wanted to talk Brendan into doing it, and they said they were just making sure they were spot on with their parts and pieces and everything else other than bodies and cars and schemes, and they were really not reeling necessarily, but I think that they didn't come in with as much comfort level with some parts and some things as they wanted to.
Which
They
is
worked their asses
Didn't look
off
like it.
and
well,
persevered. I mean, but
well,
that's the idea. It's
Yeah.
if it goes right, you don't break anything. But they've been
Yeah.
having rear end issues and things that it's not maintenance related, just weird things. So they were just
Like,
making. I think they were just double, triple,
let's
quadruple checking it.
let's just put that in perspective. Quick math based off Brent Marks' post earlier. In the month of September, at 4 racetracks, Brent Marks netted winnings of $130,000
In
between
PA.
4 races. So a $7,100 to win Williams Grove race, $20,000 to win Dirt Classic. I think it was at 26, 28 for the Sealands Grove National Open.
It was like
Um,
with the bonus money, it ended up like
right, and he got to be at 28.
26.5, I think.
Right. So he's right around $130,000 a month, and they were still uncomfortable coming here, which speaks to the competition for one, but also that team and how they can get it done when the DAX
Yeah,
a little
I
stacked
think it
against them.
speaks. I think it speaks to their level of expectations for themselves. I think it speaks for the level of expectations for themselves as a team. They're not satisfied. They know they're a contender. They know they should be running up front, and they can still have things go wrong that can set off, pull back some of that momentum and the kind of the mojo they had going a little bit. And I don't know when the last time Brent ran more races at Williams Grove in a season than this year, because the second half of the year he's ran some weekly stuff, so all of Speed Week. It's been a while since he's ran this many races at Williams Grove. I think it helped him honestly this weekend. I really do. I think that running more laps this weekend than usual, I think played a benefit to it this year. I can't say that for sure, but with this new tire, Williams Grove being Williams Grove, I think that it probably helped, even if they don't they wouldn't admit it helped them. I think it has, because
I
I think his
have to
overall
agree.
performance this year has been really good at Williams Grove.
I mean, I guess this, if I remember correctly, this is his 5th or 6th win at the track this year. Starting back in April, I think he won the first the Henderson's Memorial race is when he first started. So, but you saw he was running the top, doing his thing. The top as there was Saturday night, and Darren was on the bottom, and they were the class of the field. Like even once Brent passed them, they stayed in touch the rest of the way, and they were far and away gone from Brad Sweet and the other guys. Like after that open red, you'll have to see it. Little Hunt, they got the traffic. He made all the right moves, and you talk about a guy coming off. Remember we talked about 3 months ago. He came off of he was having a down year because he wasn't winning the Kings Royal and wasn't podium enough. That he's back there now, already money wise, closing in on it. It's like it's funny how racing works. Like June, we're like, oh, he's having a down year. He's on like 5 races.
Yeah, he was definitely. They were a team that the tire threw him for a little bit of a loop early in the year, and he admitted that. They really were struggling to get the feel that he wanted back in the car that he had last year, and not everybody dealt with that, but he's definitely a driver that felt the difference right away, and they needed to find that balance, and I think not that coming home did that, but racing in general did that. And instead of maybe going out and getting your teeth kicked in from your level of expectations on the road, trying to figure it out, came home, got yourself centered. And there was a lot of big money this year. Again, we can prove in Central PA, you can race around here all year and make a living. You can, but you're going to have to win a lot. And you're going to have to win a lot of the right races. He's been able to do that this year. Again,
that's why I was said before, like when Chris brought up how much he won just in September, I'm like, that's just PA races.
And that was only 4 of the races. That's not counting the other. He ran other races and he didn't win. So I know that, and it's running a race team, that's probably still a negative, but still an impressive number to throw up in just 4 races between 2 Williams Grove and Stevens Grove and Lincoln, of all places. We're not even talking about what would have happened if Port Royal's 50 would have happened, and maybe he wins that in September.
Ooh.
So we'll come back to that, but still.
Yeah, because he timed well that day. Timed well enough to be able to get up through there and win. So, Jim, you got a couple comments already, man. Go ahead and go through some of these.
Yeah, first of all, I want to point out we had 3 people call us gentlemen. So
that shit stops.
That should stop. If you knew us at all, you would not call us gentlemen.
Oh, no. We are very much.
Andrew Bay, Doug Kreiser, and Matt Trace all said, "Good evening, gentlemen." Well, Andrew May said, "Good morning."
Yeah, well, Andrew May's Australian, so that makes sense.
Andrew's not Australian; he's from Bedford. Basically the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like another country.
Jesse Russell said, "Came here from Jeremy Zarfa's photography. First time at Williams Grove last Saturday. Tomorrow will be my first time at Bridgeport.
Nice.
That should be awesome."
You can't follow a better photography page. Has all the good stuff.
Appreciate it. No, thanks for coming over. I'm glad that got you over here to check out the podcast and sort of cross promote both things a little bit. I mean, Jimmy and Chris do a great job supporting what I do with the photography, and I try to share what we do over here on that page too. So, if I may ask, if you're first time at Williams Grove and first time to Bridgeport, where do you live? Where are you from? That it's the first time you've been to these. So let's find that out. There you go, Tony.
Doesn't matter, Tony. Tony gets it.
All the way from Missouri. Cheers to that.
Is this one of those Knoxville people?
Sure.
Is this one of those our other Missouri friends that are like hardcore Knoxville people? Is this you one of those there, Jesse?
I was just out in Kansas City last week.
We were only kidding, Doug, by the way. But Jesse also said, "I'm a Shark Racing fan, but we were cheering hard for Pittman with the whole section on the front stretch." I think
I was going to lose my mind.
Like we talked about, it would have been the most popular.
Jimmy,
it would have been. I don't remember who said it. Was it Wikipedia or somebody would have said? Would it be the most unified that Outlaw fans and Posse fans would have been for a winner?
It would have been the coolest for all those sprint car fans. Because I think even go back. Well, I say that, but like Fred, we talked about Fred Raymond last week.
I think Fred
that was another
pretty good that year.
Yeah,
even
like,
if you're an Outlaw
brought
guy,
everyone around because he was around forever. I think Darren Pittman would have been on that level as respect wise. You wouldn't get the reaction because he's not Fred Raymer at PA. But I think maybe Brent Marks would have been a little sad that he lost to him. End of the day, I think he would have found it cool too. if Darren just straight up passed him.
Maybe a few days later. I don't think that night.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I get it, but like the point still stands. I think there have been a lot of happy people there. I mean, Jimmy, you saw me. I was losing my mind when I watched him fourth at the bottom to the lead. I'm like, rip my hat apart. Like
when they had that open red at lap 15, I'm like, it would be cool. I just didn't see it in the cards.
Well, you were talking about Brad
my eye test all night told me the two best cars all night were Brent Marks and Brad Sweet. And those two guys are the ones that won the two features that night. But I felt like they were by far and away the two strongest cars. You had Rico right there. Obviously, Pittman was pretty fast, and you had Gravel. Nobody else was really that memorable to me in terms of speed.
You even kept pointing out like Brad Sweet. You kept pointing him out, and I'm like, shut up. I don't want to.
I was just like, hey man.
No, I'm with you. I'm ignoring it. But like after that open red though, it was clearing away. Brent Marks, Darren Pittman was straight up. They were gone. It was if they wreck each other, Brad Sweet wins. That was the options.
Yeah, and I'll say this: like, talk about Pittman, was fast there at the end. I'll be honest, like an article just posted by Jeremy Elliott. I think it's a free article. I don't remember if I logged in or not, but just posted about Darren Pittman and interviewed him after the race. Pittman had to go from fourth to second in his heat. He was in a good spot, but he didn't time as good as he wanted to. And then he drew a 6 or an 8 for the dash and he was like, I think I can do this from 6, and he went from 8 to 6. He didn't it didn't go perfectly for him to get there, and then he went from 6 to the lead in that feature in like 5 laps.
Yeah. He was there in a hurry.
It was really. I'm like, where did he it didn't even come out there like. I don't know where he came from. And I was a little concerned at the beginning when Brent went from first to third and like, oh man, he starts on the pole Williams Grove with the speed he has. I'm like, this is going to be good to go. We're feeling good about it, right? He can only get in his own way. And then he went to third and I was like, oh man, we got some work to do, right? Because it's Williams Grove. So quickly got back to second. And I think, he talked about it, Victor Lane, long run car, fuel load burn off, car got better. The top came back to him because it went away there. He lost the lead on the top. And it came back to him, and then he ended up, just sort of kind of blowing his doors off a little bit off of 4,
right.
and then just held on. And it wasn't a runaway by any means, but for sure. I think Brent, the overall, and Sweet, you're right, 100%. And Sweet's had a really good season at Williams Grove, a season and a half now.
Yeah,
he came not great for everybody.
Yeah, because he's a guy that you knew this was always why. The points race, I felt like, was always tight with him for his points battles because he would have a decent lead and then he would come to PA and it would be gone because he just struggled so much. I don't think that's obviously not the case. I mean, I don't know what the points situation is now, but
he basically blew it up. He can't lose now unless he straight up just doesn't show up.
Yeah,
he has to just make the races, make the shows, and do the bare minimum.
Don't pull an Anthony Macri. You should show up.
Right,
show up when the team's ready to go to the next track.
I think he entered a week plus 80, and now it's ballooned up just because he won. He finished third. Macedo dropped out of the feature National Open.
Yep. Jack Young. Jameson, anyone? I don't know if he wants some. But back to Brad Sweet just real quick. I have not seen, he's ran there a long time. Like, he's been an outlaw, obviously, a long time. And he's always struggled, and then all of a sudden something just clicked, and I'm curious as to what that could be because it wasn't like I don't feel like it was that gradual. I felt like he was barely making the feature to he's up front running podium, out of nowhere. But he was there. He was definitely one of the strongest players there.
Yeah, agreed for sure. What else? What else we got?
Well,
what else about the weekend.
Let's just go shout out Cody Hartlaub surprised us by showing up and running the Bill Rose car.
Yeah,
that was cool for Cody to have the opportunity. I mean, hot laps, he was fast. So we love that.
58 cars. Oh, go ahead.
Did you guys see the news with Cody?
He is going to Port Royal.
They will be reuniting at Port Royal in the 6 car.
That's awesome
to see that.
So
good luck to Cody.
Yeah, pretty cool deal for sure. They had a good couple days together. I know that filling it out, new team, new connection there, and I got to spend a little bit of time with that whole deal this weekend. Spent some time talking to Bill Rose and Amanda, and talked to Pat. Obviously, hey Pat, good to see you. And talked to Cody a little bit today. We were texting a little bit about. I was showing him a couple pictures and shots I had, and One lap, he's like, "Oh, where am I going?" And the next lap, I'm like, "Yep, here's where you wanted to go." So it was like, and listen, he's ran 2 410 races at Williams Grove going
Right.
into that weekend. 2.
Mhm.
He has laps, but in a 3:58. It was locked down Friday night in a 410 at
Yeah.
Williams Grove. With you haven't never gone that fast in your life at Williams Grove. And then Saturday was a different track for sure. And the combination of setting some expectations for yourself that's probably unrealistic. As a driver, you don't go out there to say I'm not going to win. So obviously he's probably a little nervous, some butterflies, maybe expectations, wanting to put on a good effort and for everybody. So I know he probably went through the whole range of emotions through the weekend, and I think each time they hit the track, they got a little better. So
Right.
pretty proud of him, man.
So it was a great
fun
sign.
to see his
And
journey
and,
for sure.
and kind of spinning off of that, you said fastest at Williams Grove. David Gravel new track record Friday night. 16:10.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Oh, then they lied.
16:0 is the track record. It was close though.
089, and he ran a 16:101. I believe.
Then why did they announce it that way?
It was fastest this year.
No, it wasn't fastest this year because TJ said it this year.
Record this year.
He said
Right.
it
They
this
said
year.
it. No, because Jimmy said
Yeah, because
16:0, and we fought about it. I'm
Maybe
I
it's a-
agreed. I agreed with Jimmy, and then I heard it over loudspeaker, new track record was Tyler
Yeah.
Courtney, and then he got beat by David Gravel.
Or
Yep.
they're within a tenth of a second of the current track record.
no, because it was
Johnny said
Johnny was going
new
Johnny.
track record.
That's all I could hear.
101. And I was with Jimmy. I'm like, I thought it was an O. I thought it was
He
an
wasn't-
O.
It was an outlaw track record.
Whatever, makes him happy. They were. Point is, they were hauling ass.
Yeah, they were. They were very close. Friday night. So I was concerned that
Tony, what's nine?
I'm
Friday.
telling you, I did not. I heard it too. I heard
Friday,
Tony.
I didn't have a drink.
Track record
All I had
bullshit.
was Mellow Yellow Friday, buddy. See, this is where the confusion is. Now Shane Stewart 16-0.
I think it's an outlaw track record. But it's not because Shane Stewart would have said it during an outlaw.
No,
So
Brian Paulus-
Johnny's drunk, not us.
Yeah, I didn't even drink Friday. I had Mellow Yellow. You shitting me? Ask Jeremy. I offer him a Mellow Yellow.
And on the backstretch, you can't hear much, but when Johnny goes new track record, you hear it.
Jeremy wouldn't take my Mellow Yellow though. It's kind of weird.
Nobody wants your mellow yellow, man.
That's fine. More for me.
It's fine.
But yeah, Friday was. I didn't even know if we were gonna race, to be honest, just because it was such a persistent mist from like 9 o'clock Thursday. Whenever we got done with the podcast and I left Chris's house, it was already raining, and then it was like that all night and all morning till like it didn't really stop persistently misting until at least 12:30, and then but it cleared up. The sun kind of peeked out a little bit. It was cloudy. It was humid. There's just a lot of moisture in the air. And shout out to Williams Grove. They had the track ready. It was going to be hammered down. We all knew it. There's not much you could do with how much rain we got over the past week and a half, going into that night. And they had the track ready. It was wet to start, but it was hammered down. And then, we got all the way to feature time. We got to the 4-wide salute, and it started misting again. And I hauled ass out of there because I knew we were done. Everybody's like, "Nah, it's just mist."
I'm pretty sure
the track was done, and for what time it was, I think they made the right call. I know some people were upset because they're like, "Oh, they could have." It stopped misting like a few minutes later, but the track was gone. It would have taken a while to rework it back in, and you ended up with a better feature anyway on Saturday night anyway.
Right. I mean, we left our spot infield before the bridge, and by the time I got to the tunnel, I saw the track was shiny.
Yeah.
You could argue maybe they had trucks. We don't care. We knew Saturday was perfect. We knew Saturday was a perfect weather day. If you have the opportunity, take it.
Yeah.
Instead of having us there, it's already 10:15. Don't drag this thing out till midnight.
Me and Kim were the first two people over the bridge when they pulled the cars in and they were letting people cross over the bridge. We were the first two people over, and that track, I'm telling you, I looked at that backstretch and it was very, very shiny. I could almost blind myself with how shiny it was. So they made the right call.
Yeah, Wikipedia has the pre-weight limit speed was 16.140 by Brian Paulus. Post weight limit this year, TJ Stutz in April 16.089. Quick time in time trials was 101. So
I'm gonna go.
if they broke in hot laps, he's freaking out. Yes, but
No,
I
No,
remember
it was one gravel came around.
listen,
We were
when
all
he came
together.
around, I remember hearing him say we were within a tenth of a second of it at one point. We were within less than a tenth of a second of the track record, and he was yelling that they didn't break it. So I
Okay,
don't know.
maybe that's what we heard then. Maybe we
I
just heard
think
him
it was
say new track record in part of a longer sentence.
he definitely got loud about not breaking the track record. So that's Johnny Gibson a little bit for you. So um,
But we were close. It was definitely close all night.
yeah, TJ Stutz. Yep.
TJ
So
is still better than the Outlaws. Yeah,
he went faster than the Outlaws.
get wrecked.
Anyway, yeah, no,
Outlaws aren't posse fast.
but yeah, Friday night, as soon as that first heavy band, I was like, okay, I'll give this a minute. I did hang out a minute, walked around, and it stopped, and I was like, okay. The pace trucks went to the end of to the end of pit road to like go out maybe. They never got the trucks out, and it did it again, and I started heading to the gate because I knew it. I knew it was 10:38. I looked at one point,
Yep.
and they would have, and that track was already so much moisture, and it was smooth, and all the moisture just laid right on top.
Yep.
So it was going to be an hour and a half till they got that feature back underway. Probably they run it in. They're going to bring the cars out for hot laps. Is the track ready? Maybe they run more hot laps. Then they line up, and then they go. It was going to be midnight till that feature took off again.
Yeah.
So they did it right. They did the right thing, and I think originally they were going to come back Saturday and run it first. I said right away, people were talking about it, and I said right away, I'm like, they need to talk about that because who was going to run that race?
Yeah.
There would be Outlaws, anybody in the points, and anybody in Posse is starting in the top 10. Otherwise, what do you have to gain?
They were initially, when it first came out, they were going to run it after hot laps.
Right.
I think it would have been the same either way. I don't
know because you can't junk a race car.
Up your car to miss the $75,000 to win race in a $10,000 win race when a track's heavy.
At the very least, you're set back for the night because it was going to be after qualifying, run the feature, and then the heats. Like, I don't know.
No,
they made the right call.
Business decision.
But a lot of people were complaining too about, hey, they got the fireworks in. If we wouldn't have did the fireworks, we would have got the feature in. That's bullshit. First of all, that rain came out of nowhere. It didn't even. I kept looking at the radar all Friday, and it didn't show a spot of moisture, but it persistently rained all day. I mean, if you went to one of those more fancier radars, but if you just want to like a basic weather app, like it wasn't showing anything. It was very strange. So it just kind of came out of nowhere, and they were saying, they did say something like, "Oh, what more forecasted the rest of the night?" There wasn't anything forecasted the rest of the night, and it didn't rain the rest of the night. But it was what it was.
It wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Anyway.
Yeah,
and the fireworks had nothing to do with it. They were still prepping the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not the hill to die on, fellas.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, for as much shit as
best, if we skip through the 5 minutes and hurry up, say we're
it doesn't matter.
All
you would have been would be more pissed.
Lap 12.
Yeah, it would have been a repeat of last year when Lance won after lap 12 or whatever it was. You know, like it would have been just a short feature, and you wouldn't have gotten a second feature.
Matt Trace, 100%. Johnny Gibson, look up his X, is it called now? Talks about the 8-minute horn for the teams went off during the fireworks show.
Yeah.
The fireworks were literally just there for us to be entertained while they were doing what they were going to do anyway.
Right.
So
that's what they're there
would
for.
Would you rather watch fireworks or rather sit there and do nothing? You choose. Either way, it was going to rain, and you weren't going to see your whole feature event. So take it or leave it. That's facts.
Yeah. You know, for as much shit Williams Grove gets, you know, consistently, and some of it, a good chunk of it kind of is deserved.
Sure.
I don't think they did one thing wrong all weekend. They ran a flawless event weekend, at least from my standpoint, as somebody who was there for 3 days. I had a great time. They didn't do one thing wrong. The only thing that I would complain about nitpick is, can we get some goddamn more porta potties out in the campground? There's like 3, and you have to walk all the way to the pits for them. Give us a couple more porta potties, please. Other than that, though, absolutely great run event.
I taught you the on your knee thing behind the door. Did you not remember that?
No, we figured it out other ways, but and I do want to give them a shout out. They clean them every morning. They got them cleaned every morning.
That's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade from what it was in the past. So, shout out to them. So yeah, I do want to give them props. They did a fantastic job all weekend from beginning to end with how they ran that event.
4 to 10.
4 to 10 for the win.
Facts. Girls only. And Tyler Show.
We had so much shit about Friday. I ran out of TP. Says Tony Sharp. Yeah, I don't think they could have did anything. It was just a freak thing too. Like nobody knew it was coming. It's not like they could go and hurry up and be like, "Oh, we're gonna get rain."
An hour earlier, we're watching the big ass full moon right from the backstretch. We're like, we're good, and then it's like.
So wait. What you just said right there, you could see the moon with nothing on radar.
Mm-hmm.
Still couldn't get the radar when it did miss.
Exactly.
Right.
The tracks have always sped up a program when they know weather's coming.
Right.
Nothing,
no one knew.
Radar. Nothing.
And even it was a miss. It was just like at first you couldn't tell if it was dust just blowing across the lights or water. And it was never full drops. Like I don't think it was like full rain shower ever.
It was
a heavy mist.
There was so much moisture in the air just consistently all day. That's why I was surprised they even raced. But they did a great job of getting the track in.
Same. I was really surprised with that we even got to see any racing Friday based on the history, based on what that weather was all week. I couldn't be more impressed with it for sure. I didn't go home disappointed, knowing coming back the next day anyway, no matter what happened Friday. Had this on the back of my mind that this could have happened anyway, so it is what it is. So,
and that's what we said last Thursday was get to the track Friday because if it rains, if it rains halfway through, you have your rain check for Saturday, whatever.
Yep.
So and if we got past B main, so we got to see 2 features for the price of the National Open. So worth it to me.
I do think maybe having that second feature after the Natty Open feature kind of subdued the celebration a little bit.
Sure.
So I felt a little underwhelmed, and I don't know if that's anybody's fault, but it just kind of felt like everybody was still there. Everybody kind of nobody went to rush into victory lane or anything because
you couldn't because the pits weren't open.
Exactly.
I'm with you. Like it's
that's a minor thing. That's a very little.
It's the unfortunate side of the rain out. I think the right decision was run it late, like they did. But with that, you won't have a crazy celebration because 1, they can't open the pits. 2, Brent and those guys had to get that car turned around and ready to go again.
Right.
Soon. So it's unfortunate, but I don't know. It's not the worst deal.
Steph asked a question here. What would happen if they did race Friday? Is it a safety issue, or why can't they race when it was only a mist? I get confused because some tracks cancels and others don't. There was just so much moisture in the track.
The drivers said it was unsafe.
Yeah.
And I said, by the time I got to the tunnel from turn 3, it was shiny. And I don't know what you saw, Jimmy, but I saw the picture from the bridge from somebody else.
Yeah.
And it was already slimy on the surface. It's going to be slick as hell.
I was standing on the guardrail of the backstretch. It was like an ice rink.
Yeah.
Right.
The track was lost.
The track was gone. The track went from tacky fast to just a mud pit.
Think about if you're walking on concrete and you have 2 inches of slop scattered across, and how you hit that with flat shoes. That's what was going to happen there. Not safe. We learned this last year when Lance won on prelim night. A lot of complaints about that even starting. Made 9 laps, won the show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No one was happy. I would rather them do it this way, honestly, than send them out there, run 9 laps, oh, sorry, it's not safe anymore.
One thing that turns out you cannot control is the weather. We continue to find that out year after year, I believe. So it is what it is. But no, that track was gone, and I heard, I saw things on Twitter. People that were up in the stands, it didn't look that bad. It was this, it was that. And listen, I'm the first one to give tracks a hard time. I will, no shame, watch any of these episodes. I'm the first one to give tracks a hard time when I think they've earned it. Williams Grove didn't do it wrong.
No,
they didn't get it wrong. The track was lost. It was gone. When I saw them coming in the pits, the only way that could have even had 1% to get going is if it went green before, and it was cleaning the track off.
Everything off.
They went under yellow for a minute or two. They do a hot lap and they go, but they didn't get that far. And honestly, as heavy as that mist was, as fast as it happened, it wouldn't have worked. So
Steph goes, according to some fans, apparently the tracks can control the weather by having a conversation with Mother Nature. What you don't understand, like, because I said this about Port Royal a couple weeks ago, why would you turn your weather machine on your
On
the
race
night
day.
of your
That's
biggest race
such
of
a
the year?
dumb
Why
time
would
to
you
turn
turn that
your rain
on?
machine on. That's so weird.
yeah,
Steph
and
has become one of my favorite fans. I'm not gonna lie.
the fans have also proven that they all would run a racetrack better than everybody around here.
That's
So
facts.
they would be better track operators. Wild.
So
Yeah, Matt, you can't have a vortex theory when they didn't get up to speed. So there's that.
he had the 4 wide though.
It's actually Bear Hill's fault. They didn't have enough hot air blowing out, yelling at the infield to keep the rain away.
They had plenty of hot air at Bear Hill.
That's right,
Billy
Matt.
Dietrich asking, when did it rain?
It didn't rain officially.
It misted, Billy.
It misted, Billy. It was a mist.
Yeah, it was
It
just
was,
enough.
It made it It made it extra moist.
Very
Yeah.
moist.
Okay.
So moist. Anyway, closing thoughts. National Open.
Awesome.
Great time.
Had a great time.
Can we do a quick one? Drink it or dump it of National Open
For the
weekend.
Natty Open?
Just Natty Open, just right there. A drink it or dump it to eat one of each. And I'll start. I'm drinking it to Brent, clearly. I don't care if you take it or not. My dump it is Devin Borden.
Damn it, you took mine.
Oh, so we start over. Okay, so what we're gonna do?
No. You're good. You're good.
Oh, it's Devin Borden. He had a rough weekend all around. Some of it was his own doing. I guess he could put it on himself all the way around. But listen, they win and lose as a team. So that would be my two.
Guys, it's fine. He went to church on Sunday. He's gonna get better.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant, but
I asked Brett. He doesn't know either. Anyway, Jimmy, you go.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Oh,
I know, because I don't want to take yours. I know who you're going to go with.
You want to guess? I have them both.
Darren Pittman.
It's my drink it. Darren Pittman did as best as I could have hoped for what he was there to do. A win would have been glorious, but it was also a tall ask. Right, 52 cars. But drove the hell out of it and was in position. That's all you can ask for if you're Darren Pittman. Jump in the car and go in there. Dump it. Billy, since you're here, buddy. C-Main. Pull off.
Ooh, man.
Still love you, though.
Pour one out for the homie. My drink it's gonna. I'm gonna get flamed for this. My drink it's gonna go to Brad Sweet. I was thoroughly impressed with how fast he was all weekend for a track that he has struggled probably the most at in his career. So I'll give him that. He did win. He won the makeup feature. He was
drinking it for how fast a 4-time, soon to be 5-time World Outlaw champion is. Cool.
Yes, I am. And then I'm gonna dump it for Donnie Schatz because he was a non-factor all weekend.
That's funny.
And I'll simultaneously drink it and dump it for Darren Pittman for having such a great run, but then being a bridesmaid again, which I know
can't pick the whole field to drink it or dump it for. We said one of each.
I said one of each and then one for both.
No, he only said the Darren Pittman thing to make sure he doesn't get murdered by our comment section in about 5 minutes when they catch up.
So a couple minor side notes. Sheldon 4th, the National Open.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Oh,
what a turnaround!
Yeah, I guess
from the non-qualifier Friday to
Jack Young. I like that. My drink it is Heartlob for his opportunity with Bill Rose. Same way David Gravel got his career started. Dump it as my buddy Tyler. He shouldn't have smoked that ciggy.
Oh man.
She
is not making me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Miss Kim.
She is a Brad Sweet fan.
A big Brad Sweet fan. Made Jimmy say all that stuff.
Listen, no, it's just.
Yep, that's what happened.
Well, you guys already took.
Holy shit, she's watching. Good luck. We saved you, Jimmy.
but I can't. Just because my eye test was Brent Marks, Brad Sweet were the 2 fastest cars all weekend.
So,
heads up.
Since you love Napa drivers, why don't you like Chase Elliott?
Since what does that make me a Napa lover? I was impressed by Brad Sweet. I did not see him as a factor. I don't think he was on my list at all when we did our preview show. So I had Donnie, I had Gravel, I had Macedo. I'm not being threatened. It's okay.
She's behind
So,
the curtain.
so here, ready? And here's another one. Brent Marks on the 2 features was first and fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Sweet in the 2 features was first and fifth.
How about that? So
Brent Marks is goated, is what I heard.
Brent went 12th to 5th in that second one. He was ripping pretty good there. And once he got to that top 5 in that second one, it was Brad Sweet, Carson Macedo, Gravel, Courtney, and Marks. And they were obviously the 5 fastest, and they were all running about the same line, about the same speed. So pretty interesting the way it was for sure.
Jesse makes a good point over here. Dump it. Sheldon Hansfield leave it his merch trailer in Worcester. All my son wanted was me to bring him back a shirt for my trip. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting move.
How does that happen?
What if they just have the people or what?
No, he had it at Wayne County Speedway.
Oh,
I thought he had a trailer though there. I thought he had. No, I guess he didn't.
No,
have
you
that
actually.
there.
The more now you mention it, I did not see that trailer there.
Haudenshield just making.
That's.
I mean, that's home for him, right? That I get it, but
you're not even running the race.
But you got to know. Yeah, I know. No, I know that, but it's still going to sell, and it's
Who
home.
had more fans, Wayne County or the National Open?
Yeah, it's a questionable.
It's a
call.
And he made a decision. If you're a fan and you were here, it's a wrong decision in your mind, right? Because you know if you're coming to Central PA, you're going to sell merch. Whether you're an outlaw, an all-star, you're selling merch. It's what we do around here. We buy racing merch.
We buy way too much racing merch.
Someone at the Macedo trailer mentioned that he had some issues last time he was at Williams Grove. So okay.
They try to take the 69K spot.
Did it have anything to do with being the non-qualifier Friday?
He gets busted by the DOT all the time in PA, apparently. Well,
maybe you should follow the rules.
I was going to say, what about the rest of these guys? They all bring their trailers in. Like, what the hell?
They all get busted, dude. It's like a big thing. It's every year. It's a topic. When USAC comes to town, it's like everybody knows about PA, and they sit on the side of the road waiting for the trailers to come through PA.
Yeah, I see that.
Every year, it's a topic. Every freaking year.
Yeah,
and it's
well, you know.
Matt Trace also drink it to all the fans for how great the whole weekend was. Dump it for Maryland winning the keg kickball for first time in 10 years. Yeah, fuck Maryland.
Yeah, they killed Kim's wrist 2 years ago on her birthday.
Yeah. Doug's drinking this to Tyler Courtney. Tyler Courtney he's another guy that was like he doesn't really run that great at Williams Grove, and he looked pretty good.
He had 10th and 4th.
Yeah, I mean he's not a guy that you would expect top 10 with the Outlaws at Williams Grove. He's just not.
And I'll say Danny's run through the field in that first day was very impressive. Very impressive from the back. So
sorry,
I kept looking up, and he was passing another car. I'm like, holy shit, he's rolling here.
We would be remiss if we did not mention that Freddie Raymer locked down his third Williams Grove track title. Congratulations to him. They both had to take provisionals, I believe, for the Open, or was it for the other race?
For the Open.
For the Open.
Yep.
But yeah, Freddie kind of had that locked up going into the last feature, I believe. He had a decent cushion going in.
He finished 16th in the first one. Danny was 9th. And then in that second one, Freddie started up front further, and Danny started at the very back of that one, and Danny got the 19th, and Freddie finished 7th. So
Tyler Courtney was the Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Congratulations. So, yeah, congratulations to Freddie, though, and Danny. Again, another year where they take it down to the last race, and, they're battling for, they have a race within a race. It's fun.
And we don't talk about track titles a ton around here. It still matters. I think it's lost some of the luster it used to carry, but it still matters to the people in contention. And
yeah,
when you get down to it, you want to win it, no matter what. And the owners want it, right? Owners, they love that.
I feel like the Williams Grove track title still carries a lot more weight than any other track title around here, at least.
Because Williams Grove is the home of the posse. Generally speaking, we talked about Brett. We talked about it. He's won at Lincoln, but when they beat the posse at Williams Grove, it's like the ultimate.
That has nothing to do with the points championship on a weekly night.
No, but that's why it.
Now, the reason he's saying about the points title mattering a little more is there's no competition on Friday nights. It's the one. On Saturday, it's split. You have Lincoln and you have Port.
Sure.
That's where I think his brain's going. Not like Brad Sweet giving a shit about winning about the weekly points title. They're not related.
No, but I'm saying it's the same idea.
It's what makes Williams Grove Williams Grove is I think what Chris is trying to say.
If you beat the Outlaws at Williams Grove, that is here. Being them at Lincoln, being them at Port, or vice versa, it's For whatever reason, it's different.
Freddie got it because he scored more points, just more consistent.
He did. That's how you win.
Yeah. Well,
It's
she was
crazy.
asking, did he
That's
get
how
it
you
to
win a
his
championship.
wins? And it's not.
He only had 2.
He only had 2, and did Danny have one?
He had one, I
Danny
think.
won.
Yeah. But it wasn't who had more wins. It was just he had more points. I think he went into Friday night with a 130-point lead. So
And went in the
it was kind of almost like as long
Saturday
as he was in the feature, he was okay.
But he went to the second feature with a 65-point lead. Things got a little touch and go there.
Yeah.
Again, remember last year he lost it because he missed the show and Danny made it. No, my point wasn't so much a knock on Lincoln or Poor. It's just how the Outlaw guys treat, or how I think the general understanding is when they beat the Outlaws at Winners Grove or vice versa.
Doug, dump it the way that an Outlaw race is also track points race. Not a fan of that.
Does it matter? Why should it not count? No matter who
I want to hear Jimmy. This is where Jimmy can speak his mind for his stance for the last 4 days.
If you're going to be representing the track as a points title holder,
yeah,
every race should matter. I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea.
I'm fine with an Outlaw race counting. I guess
points chase does not take anything off the National Open. Not for the fans. Not for the fans.
Oh,
I'm responding to Todd there. Not for the fans. Maybe for Fred and Danny.
Freddie and Danny fans, it does a little bit.
Sure, but that's their fans.
The last couple of years, it's been a consolation for them not winning the fucking race.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Like it's
it was like a big thing after it was all done. Danny wins. It was a cheer. But do you think they would have cheered louder for him to win 75 grand Natty Open or the points title?
Right.
I'm saying the drivers and teams. The best way to win the title is to go win the damn race. So
Danny was awfully happy last year when he won it, for sure, coming through there. But I'd be happy if I won it too. I don't think if I finish second.
I don't see it being maybe as a driver you're not doing some bonsai slider move, which is honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you see Danny? Danny was balls to the wall in the Natty-O. Like,
but I don't think.
Do you think he's doing?
I don't think that changed. I think it's because of the Natty-O in that scenario.
Correct.
Because you have no way of knowing your position to Freddie.
He knew what his point situation was going into it.
Sure.
I don't think it mattered. But it's the National Open. You don't know what's going to happen. You're going to go for every spot because there's also money on the line just for that race. Finishing 17th and finishing 9th probably had a little different payout. And if his car is good enough, why are you not passing cars, right? So I don't know. I think it was a sidebar to it. I didn't really pay attention all night to it. I could have, when it was all said and done, I forgot we were handing out a points title. Yeah. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but
I'm fine with like Friday night, like deciding it. I feel like the Natty-O is just
its own.
I don't think it takes any. I'm fine with it being a points race, but
I want to say
it's just so hard to make that field, right? Like
we've spent more time right now distracting away from the Natty-O talking about it than we or anyone thought about it Friday or Saturday.
Maybe
nobody
unless you're a fan of those drivers specifically,
right? And obviously, right. And again, everyone's there to see the race and how it goes, and it's a sidebar at best. That's what it is,
right?
Sidebar.
Would you say
should they change it? Should I like Tony's thing? Make it show points. I wouldn't care one way or the other. That's where I'm at. I don't care.
What's 100 points? Everybody's the same. Just give them 0.
Well,
what's the point of 100?
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. I'm with you there.
Leave the points or don't do it. Does that mean so that you're all the same energy for Morgan Cup, Summer Nationals, and National Open? That each Saturday night doesn't do points.
No.
Why? It's this Outlaw race.
It's an Outlaw race. You have 10 guys that don't belong there that are interrupting the race.
You don't get as many cars for one.
You have 10 more cars than you normally do.
48 to 52 versus 50s. Well, it turned out to be 53.
Yeah, but Morgan Cup, you're getting like what, 40?
So it's got to be the same energy,
right?
I'm saying
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because I mean, I'd be fine either way. I think maybe more. The solution is don't give. Never mind. I don't care either way. I'm not dying on any hill on this one. So
no, but Matt Trace
over 48 cars it doesn't count, and under 48 it would count. That's dumb.
That's weird.
I get you.
That's not what I said.
But
you said it's less cars. It should count. You said it's less cars. It should count. So what? They have
I didn't say it should count. I said I don't care if they count it. I don't.
We said Morgan Cup only has 40 cars. It counts. I get the National Open
because you have to make the feature to get points.
Yeah.
You don't have provisionals in the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? Like I could
we do.
I could go either way on that.
They have the same professionals.
Most other places have their crown jewel event at the end of the year, and their points title is done before then. Knoxville does it before then; it doesn't count. Port Royal doesn't do it before it counts. I don't understand why Williams Grove does it, but I don't really. It's a quirk for them, so that's fine.
Matt Trace
I would
back
say
there.
it's also pretty rare when the Williams Grove track title holder doesn't make features, but I digress.
Right.
Matt Trace said about Kings Royal, Knoxville Nationals, Natty O being premier events. It got buried now. I can't scroll.
Knoxville, Kings Royal, and Natty are more important to win than a championship like Daytona
Right.
500. I'm sure guys will trade
So
a championship for one 500 win.
And
Absolutely,
he was saying he was trading that. The comment before that, he would trade a track championship for a Natty O win.
Listen,
and I agree.
we are spending time on it now, but look how teams have treated point standings locally the last bunch of years. Very, very few
each
are
year
specifically
they're
saying,
going to
I'm
chase
gonna-
money.
Very few have said, I'm going to run every race to get the points title. They don't care.
Yeah.
And if they end up in it, then they go race it, right?
Yeah,
So
I think you get to a certain point in the season that if you're in it, it's like, all right, you're kind of because that was the whole reason Danny was pissed off when they ran that one weekly race, or they're trying to. They're like, you could see the radar, dumbass, it's going to rain, but then they still made him show up because if not, he's out of the points. He had to go run. So.
Right. Well, remember Lance a couple years back, they started off so good in the season, they weren't going to run for points and ended up running.
Right. And that's how he won his 7th.
Between COVID and everything else, he found a way to be there. So it's a business decision. Points racing is all business.
It's dumb, to be honest. I think it's a dying model.
It is. I do
Around
agree
here.
that it is.
I think it is for bigger tracks with the big events. I think your smaller tracks, it means a big deal. I think you know what I mean, like your Path Valleys, Big Diamonds, those tracks, like those track titles mean a lot to those tracks.
But it still means a lot to certain drivers. Now the problem 410 racing, like when Lance Weiss wins it, he's won it a million times. Do you think that Devin Borden track championship at Port Royal means nothing? I don't think so.
I don't think any championship doesn't mean something.
It means something to him.
I think it maybe means a little bit less when they're facing a bigger carrot.
I think your team and yourself have to decide if that's what you're doing, it means something. If it doesn't, if you want to be Danny and just go wherever you want, then go do that.
Yeah,
I don't mean shit to him anymore. That time has passed.
What you said about Path Valley, it's not just the track. I think it's the division, because there's not tons of divisions where you just can go on a whim and run out, go leave the area and miss a points race if you're at that level. There's way more divisions in Central PA that don't have that opportunity or want to leave the porch, right, and go race somewhere else to miss a points race. In 410 world, if you're at the top level of the 410 world and the top level PA posse guys have the opportunity to go, they go. And Danny's traveled, and Lance has traveled, and Brent has traveled. I'm not going to fault anybody for not doing it, but at the same time,
I think that touches on exactly the problem here. Not the problem. It's a good problem. The top level of sprint car racing. Where do you go to get better at? We saw Brent Marks do it. Danny talked, you have to run 100 races a year. If you're trying to compete at these big races at the top level of 410 wing sprint car racing, you have to be in the car a lot, and you have to go race tough competition. The track titles used to be the value because you were racing the same guys. Lance and Freddie and Greg Hodnett would race together every week for a track title. That's not the way anymore.
It still is. It's just a different set of names.
Marks and Macri are DeWeese, Danny are the top guys here. They're not racing for a track title. They're not there every week.
Right.
They go to the big shows. So to go get better for the big shows, you have to go race them.
Sure.
They're racing the Tyler Courtneys, the Brad Sweets. They're not here winning all the track titles anymore. That's what I'm saying. That's where the difference is. Our best guys are not running for track titles.
Tony Sharpwood says, wouldn't hurt to promote it as well. I don't know what that word is. We learned it a couple weeks ago, but
Port Royal knows it. So let's go to that.
We'll
National Open.
We'll get back to the word promote here in a few minutes. We'll give you a little preview for next week here at the end of the show.
Weekly racing is definitely not valued as it was in the past. No, it's not. Not around here because we are the top here. I think it does in other places, just maybe not in 410
think-
sprint cars at Williams Grove, Port Royal, and
It's
Lincoln.
valuable here, but when your top guys aren't running weekly, it loses a little bit, is what I'm saying.
Well, and this topic came up again this weekend, and I used to never be on this train, but I am now. We race too much. The crowds, the purses, the stress on the tracks teams and everybody else is just too
Same.
much. I think we race too much. When you see a crowd like you saw at the National Open and you want to get anywhere close to that, you need to get rid of all these other bullshit races in the middle of the year that are like Pepsi Fan Appreciation Night and they give out, koozies. Like, give me a freaking break. It's
Yeah.
not going to draw. That is
So-
not promoting, nor is it going to draw fans to the track. And that means if you don't have fans at the track, you're not going to be able to pay out more purse. So, do we condense it, have more races that matter less, and just weekends off, and actually tracks work together to move these big events around versus trying to make 39 events a year a big race, and it ain't going to happen anymore. So, I think
But-
that there's some revisions need to be made around here.
Sure, but on the flip side, I'm of the favor. I love the weekly local show. See the guys, but I think it also builds excitement. Like if you do it right, you could build excitement for the big event end of
They do.
September.
They do anyway.
Yeah.
If Williams Grove ran 30 races this year with 410s, or they ran 20, the National Open was going to be packed. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then you have
I'm
10
saying
less
is,
races
like,
with nobody standing around,
but-
and then they're quick to pull the trigger on canceling when it missed, when they could have raced.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying
everything's a tribute race, a memorial race every week, and that's great. But
people
It
die
doesn't
every
draw
day.
fans anymore. Only
So-
a select
and it's
few
it's them
do.
trying to promote and make every weekly race an event. I get that,
Right.
and
That's
it's not
their
a
job.
terrible thing. But because I also think a little bit, the fact that the Outlaws race at Williams Grove now 7 times a year. I know it got rained out, but they have 7 dates. And then they run a regular ass Outlaw format for the Natty O. Kind of takes away from it just slightly. A little bit, because it doesn't feel as like it feels special. Not the Natty Open. I'm just saying, like the race doesn't feel.
I just want
different.
I want Jimmy to take his same stance of
Of
not a crown jewel.
it's
not-
a crown. It's the PA crown jewel. I just don't think the Outlaws treat it as their third.
I mean,
Because-
2 weeks now, you were saying it's not even a third crown
Every one of
jewel.
them wants to win it.
I
Williams
think
Grove.
it's. I think it goes Knoxville, Kings Royal, Big Gap, Natty O, and a slew of a couple others like Gold Cup, Ironman 55, fucking Tusky 50. Obviously, Natty Open's above that, but I just think
See,
there's a big gap between the top two.
That-
There is.
I would
There
I would
is.
love
It's still
Matt,
not-
I would love for it to be a special format, except for the fact that everyone bitched about both of those special formats.
Yeah.
Like, there's no happiness. Like, I don't care about the format. I really
I said,
don't.
I
do
said
not
this
care.
weekend. I like that it's not a goofy ass format. Then I know
Right,
what the
I
hell's
do
going to
not
happen
care.
throughout the
It's
night.
not
I
even
do
the
not care.
format. Like other crown jewel races, they'll
Like-
do like and like because it
Like-
felt a little rushed too. Like sometimes they line the cars up on the front stretch and they'll do a like you'll probably see that at Tusky on Thursday. They'll do
Sportsman
they'll do
100.
yeah they'll
talking
they'll line them up on the front stretch. They'll do a group picture of everybody that's making that feature event
Right.
feel
What
very
I'm saying
special
is,
for that
you-
year.
You
And I don't think
included-
and not that it's a big deal
Jimmy,
that Williams Grove
Jimmy,
doesn't do it. Can I
Jim.
finish my thought, man? You're the one that brought it up. Let me finish my thought.
Finish your thought.
I'm just saying there's a couple things that they could do maybe to make it feel a little bit more special, maybe make it a little bit more different than just a 10 lap longer or 15 lap longer, I guess. World of Outlaw format feature event from Friday night. You know what I mean? But it's still the Natty O. Like it doesn't I appreciate though at the same time that it doesn't need all the gimmicks.
But
That's
when
all.
would they do the fireworks then if they did all that
Right.
other shit?
You know what
Yeah.
would have been cool? It would have been cool to fire off the fireworks as Brent's going to the top wing instead of 3 pieces of confetti. I think that would have been pretty cool.
But also, we talk about Chili Bowl. We talk about Kings Royal, and I could find probably a weird subsection of Twitter, Facebook, Discord that was bitching about how long the night was dragging on because they were introducing each driver state by state, whatever they were doing. So what do you do? Like I even told Miguel at the Sports 100, like if Williams Grove tried this, they'd be bitching that they're introducing each driver from his hometown with like you can't make I don't know.
I
Like,
don't
would
know.
love that too, dude.
I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would bitch about it, but Williams Grove fans are going to bitch about anything, really, especially
Maybe,
Williams
maybe
Grove.
I'm just I don't know. Maybe I haven't been to enough national opens. Maybe that's it because I wasn't a Williamsburg regular until the last 5-8 years. But I feel like it stands on its own. The Bridge, the Outlaws,
Yeah,
Natty
Yeah.
Open, Posse Outlaws, camping,
it's
attendance. Like
The
it
event's
is
great.
different. It is
to me,
different
it did
feeling.
have, but it did have a fucking vibe. It did have that thing. I don't know if it needed anymore. I love the format being normal. I think it makes sense to me. You have, and they added non-qualifiers race when you get to a certain point. They split the groups. I, I
That's an
just
outlaw thing, though. Like, it's just a straight
Right.
outlaw
What I'm saying
format.
is
an outlaw race.
the
Yeah.
It's an outlaw race.
atmosphere.
It's not a non-sanctioned race like the Million or uh, uh, whatever other it's an outlaw race. So for
Right.
me, I think it did have all that. I agree. Every driver that comes to PA and Williams
Wants to
Grove is an
win
outlaw
that
or an
race.
invader wants to win that race. I think that does it match with Knoxville and Eldora? No, we don't
Mm-mm.
run a week long event, right?
And
Like it's not
and that was my only point when I was talking about the whole crown jewel thing.
but it is one. Just because it isn't the same doesn't mean it isn't one.
It is standalone third place.
I'm
in
not
my
saying
opinion.
it's not. I'm saying it's not on that
I'm
same level.
saying is everything Jeremy said is right, but as
No.
a guy that goes, but like you go from the Morgan Cup for me, the Morgan Cup's like the little warm up, little posse outlaw, little battle, little skirmish. Summer National, you start getting a little serious. This is like the big posse
Yeah, it
outlaw
does.
battle.
It kind of leads
Like,
up.
it builds the whole way, and the atmospheres are different. Obviously, from
Yeah.
in my opinion, from that event, Morgan Cup, Summer Nationals, this event,
The atmosphere at the
atmosphere-
track is totally different.
totally different. And you talk about like a weekly show. It's like we're all just there. The ones that are there weekly, we're just hanging out, whatever. National was like, no, we're serious. Like, at least seriously having fun. Like,
I was gonna say I don't know if it's any more.
the overall atmosphere though was like, hey, this is big. Whatever's happening is big.
it's
Every
not.
lap is like, oh, like they crashed. No, they said like a tenth slower than the other guy. And you hear it during qualifying. You hear the crowd, and that's why that event climbs.
Because there's more people there. There's a lot more people there.
Sure.
You know, there's a reason for that because they
And the
put on a great
history,
event.
and there's a reason why. Like,
Yeah, I was just devil's advocate. If it wants to be on that Kings Royal Knoxville level, it has some work to do, but it's definitely still one of the biggest races in the country.
Maybe they don't want to be on that level. Yeah, that's a.
I don't know. I don't think it has to compete with that. I think that
No, it could be its own thing.
and
Be
I think
sustainable.
it is. I think
I'd
it
rather be
stands on its own, and I think
sustainable
it's the crown jewel for the East Coast. And we do race here a lot, so I don't know. I know I kind of know what you're saying, but I don't know if I want the Williams Grove National Open to be at the level of Knoxville and Eldora because the place was freaking packed as it was.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't
But-
really need more.
But what everybody ends up doing then is still lumping all three of those together, and
Right.
I don't know if that's fair.
I mean, good for us. But
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
even for
We don't have to do as much as they do.
right, and it's still like I treat like the Tuscarora 50. That's an event that I love, and it's climbing, and it's way up. It's number 2 on my list. But it's like Tusky 50 comes is like my pregame show for the National Open. Like,
Speaking of Tuscarora 50, let's move on to Port Royal.
Well, let's
Because-
real quick.
Oh.
Bridgeport Tuesday,
Oh,
tomorrow. High limit coming to town. You guys still have a lot of these same cars in town that are going to go high limit. Excuse me. What do we think about car count for Bridgeport?
31.
I think a little bit more than that.
41.
Yeah, I think between 35 and 40.
The draw hard line 31.
I think I think there's a lot of.
I did win. 52 was the number Saturday night.
It was 58, so.
That was Friday night.
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
I don't know. It's weird that 6 cars left.
Well, Zach
I
Hampton
thought
had
that was
issues.
strange.
Yeah, that's strange.
Chris Arnold, Zach Hampton. I mean, there was a
Mhm.
few. Like, I get it, but it's pretty rare when you have that. You don't almost.
Right,
We talked about that. There's almost never a drop off.
It's usually the other way around, yeah.
Still
Knoxville,
all the
Eldora,
same.
National Open, all have common time trials are still the most important laps. Yeah, they are.
Oh, you mean because it's a very competitive group of 40, 50 plus cars. Got it.
Checks
Same
out.
thing.
But yeah, Bridgeport.
Go ahead, Bridgeport.
I'm 41 plus.
31.
High 30s. Very tight points battle between Larson and Rico. Go 20 points
20
with only
points.
two events left. Yeah, I don't know.
Do we?
I don't
Do
know
we
what
just
else?
pick
What else?
Just a quick. Who do you think wins the race deal?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give mine right away.
Kyle Larson.
Okay.
I know.
I don't even know. I don't even know who's at who's good at Bridgeport.
I was on
Tyler Courtney.
I was on my.
That's a good one.
I was walking on the limb there for mine. Just pick Rico, genius.
Justin Peck gets redemption from earlier this year.
Pat
there
Tracy,
you
you were best friends. Boom.
I said it before I saw it pop up on the screen. No, we will not be at Bridgeport. No.
I don't go to New Jersey much.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a haul for us and during the weeknight. But I hope everybody that goes has a great time. It looks like great weather. Tony Sharp's picking Brent Marks. Could you imagine if he sweeps the week?
Oh.
Natty-O goes to Bridgeport and then goes and wins Tusky.
So I'll say this:
if that happens, we won't be here next week.
somebody for all of you to watch, listening. There might be all one of you, but for you guys to watch Kyle Reinhardt at Bridgeport. He loves Bridgeport. He's good at Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Kyle Reinhardt and the speed he carries at Bridgeport. It's actually pretty impressive. It opened my eyes last year at the Oktoberfest, and I was like, man, he was aggressive. He was driving harder than cars that drive hard. It was pretty cool to watch. So, low key dark horse is Kyle Reinhardt to run in the front of the field tomorrow night.
Also, anyone going to Bridgeport, look for our buddy Alex Robinson. He's calling
the
modifieds.
Yep.
Nice.
He's a good guy.
Shout out Alex. He hung out with us on Saturday. Good dude.
Yeah, good dude.
Very good announcer. And he'll also be announcing some of our iRacing stuff, so that's cool.
More to come. So, yeah. Bridgeport, done.
Bridgeport, let's go into Tusky on Thursday. If we're thinking, Justin Sanders is a good one.
Forgot about old Justin Sanders.
Oh, yeah. If he's for sure racing it. Yeah.
So, Tusky 50, we already had some Outlaws declare Port Royal as their final freebie. They had to get a waiver signed, apparently. There was some confusion on Facebook, I think, with some
politics.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit politics with the way the Outlaws are set up to kind of keep the drivers in house. But you got Donnie Schatz. There's some big names: Donnie Schatz, Carson Machedo, Spencer Baston, Brock Zierfoss, Tanner Holmes. Did Sheldon make his at? Yeah, Brian Brown will be there.
Sheldon is adult.
Yeah, where did he use his fourth freebie? Was it Wayne County? That's right. But yeah, those others that we already said are all confirmed. It sounded like they were all confirmed through Port Royal's social media today. Huh?
Confirmed intent to race, whatever that means.
Right. So that on top of guys like Rico, Rico's going to be there. I don't see why he would come out all the way out here and not race it.
Especially he's racing.
Aaron Reitzel. He was there, I guess, originally. I'm trying to think of guys who weren't there originally that are probably going to race. Chase Randall. Will Chase Randall be there, you think? Yeah.
I think I read that on his post, thanking Beer Hill Gang and Matt and those guys. He will be Bridgeport, then Port, if I read it right.
Mark Smith, I believe.
Mark Smith confirmed for at least Thursday.
Yeah.
Good. So, what do we think?
Brian Brown's racing.
Brian Brown is racing, yes.
Yeah. Finishing out the Port Royal here. Probably head home after that, I would assume.
That would make sense.
Maybe, probably home and then probably go to World Finals, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do we think of car count wise? Let's just go for Thursday because that's the big race. I'm thinking
they had how many originally?
I was thinking like low 40, like low to mid 40s, just because it is a Thursday. But now now that I'm hearing some of these other guys
55.
Start listing names in my head, maybe it'll be closer to 50.
I think it's 55.
I'm 50 on the number. I'm 50 on the dot.
Yeah.
Which was the same as it was.
50 would be over under, if you're putting the line. I think 50 is a number.
50 and a half then.
50 and a half.
You set the line. You didn't have to
set the lines at 50 and a half?
No, set the line at 50.
You got to do half somewhere. 49 and a half.
Do another side of it. 49 and 3/4 cars will be there. Maybe Troy Fraker comes out. So
Brett
49
Perigo's showing up. There you go.
Steph with the question. So Tusky 50 will be a total new race, even though it's a makeup. I get confused reading stuff on Facebook with everyone bitching. Yeah.
They only got the time trials done.
If you go on Port Royal's comment section right now, it is a wild place.
Justin Snyder is the person we don't deserve.
Bless Justin Snyder's heart.
Such a patient
to keep his
fella.
patience with some people, man. Just
I would have
the
deleted my
wildest
whole
shit.
page by now. Just delete page. Like, bye-bye. Gone. I can't believe it. It's the stuff that I've read. Oh,
all day, every day. But yes, so complete show. They got through
complete
qualifying.
makeup.
It rained. It's been a month. You got to restart the race. I don't care what Scott says. Plus, as we just talked about, Tanner Holmes, Johnny Schatz,
and more.
Macedo
Baston.
adding in, plus other guys that can't make it any longer.
I can imagine Bear Hill Gang's even much.
No, Bear Hill Gang is, dude. Matt, I've been reading shit all day from you guys.
The difference in the Bear Hill Gang one, though, is sometimes it's hard to even know if it's English in that crowd. At Port, at least it's English, but it just doesn't make sense. But it's English and it forms a sentence. Some of the Beer Hill Gang, I mean, those critters in there, they barely put letters together to form a word. You know?
You should know.
No, I'm just kidding.
There was one.
Matt should know that we're all infield invaders and Beer Hill sucks.
I never said it.
Yeah, we heard some really loud audible.
Jimmy tried to start a riot Friday night.
How?
By saying Beer Hill, you and Andrew and Cabo, Beer Hill
because
sucks.
Beer Hill sucked. Beer Hill kept saying infield sucks. That's probably the most audible I've heard it in a couple years, to be honest.
Been a while. Oh, only you, Matt. Come on.
Do a revenge draw for all feature spots and start all cars.
Oh, that's fun. Tony, how drunk are you?
in Enduro race.
Yeah. So now with the extra competition here, or I would say to boost the competition, because like Donnie Schatz is a guy who's good at Port Royal. He won it the last time it was an Outlaw race. He's very good here. He won. I don't know how many wins he has at Port Royal, but I feel like half the time when the Outlaws are there, I feel like half the time he's winning.
He won the 2018 Tuscarora 50, which was moved because of rain.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm pretty sure he swept the Nittany the first year they had it.
I think so.
So,
because I remember Brock running out of fuel leading him.
That's such a Brock thing to do.
Yeah. That was the year he won the title there.
Donnie Schatz is not to be.
So, who are the favorites now? Because guys like Rico, Macedo, Schatz, they weren't there the first time around. So, and they immediately put themselves in top 10, if not favorite contention.
All right. Favorite one, we can all agree. We can't even argue. Brent Marks.
I mean, I think they have work to do at Port, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well,
I agree. Okay, I think they're in contention for sure. I mean, you can't count them out.
I kind of left part of my sentence out, posse wise. Brent Marks, Lance Louise, Devin Borden is my three posse guys.
I can't.
I disagree.
I disagree too.
It's yours, but so I can't necessarily say you're.
Logan Wagner in a 69K is going to be a threat. 100%.
I think Anthony Macri needs to be in the conversation no matter what car he's in.
He is a defending champion.
It's Macri, Marks, Borden, with a DeWeese and a Wagner right there. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the track's going to be. It's hard for me to say, but like,
it looks like it's going to be nice most of the week. So I think it'll slick off.
Aaron Reitzel should be racing. We don't know confirmed, but
I think so. I don't see why he was there the first time around.
So.
Right. He was at this race for the normal, so no reason not to be. Yeah,
and he was just at Waves Grove, so.
And this is why I'm struggling. I just talked about posse, and I'm still struggling with getting the right order because there's the 5-6 posse guys.
Right, no, because you're not wrong. Like I said, Brent, Lance, Borden, and you said Macri and Logan.
I know what I said.
It'd be perfect.
I get it. But what we just saw from when they were there when Zeb Wise, Tyler Courtney, Aaron Reitzel, they were dominating that race, straight up dominating that race. So like then you throw a couple outlaws in here. Yeah, man, this is wide open. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
it really
this is
is.
a wide open deal, man. I don't know. Like
And you
I
still
don't know.
have your top all-stars. You have the Courtneys. You have the Zeb Wise. I don't know. Kerry Matson come back maybe. He's pretty decent there if he gets qualified well. It's
Peck has been better there lately
Peck.
too. Man,
Yeah. Honestly, my top three posse guys to watch are Deweese, Wagner, and Marks. I think Macri's been good. I just don't feel like he's had that speed in the 71 car as he has in the past. Good night, Tony. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I think those are the three guys. I think Borden will be there. I need to see it from Borden that he can hang in a big race, and that's nothing against him. It's just this is another level from.
Yeah, I put him in there just for redemption after this past weekend. He's going to be fired up. He's going to have it on the fence. If it survives, he's going to be up front. I just feel like it's redemption time. And Mike Walter will be racing. Matt, he'll be in the 77.
Hell yeah.
I believe. They tuned up at the Williams Grove National Open tune-up race just to get some laps to get ready. So they should be there.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, I just I could just see this race being coming down to a 39M versus 69K
versus
battle. I could see
running
it.
the opposite lines. To what
Yeah, I know it's nuts. I just think that would be so poetic too. But I don't know. I think Shots and Macedo definitely go right to the top of the board in terms of favorites.
Agreed. Tyler Courtney won.
I think I put Rico ahead of those two guys though. He's been really good at Port. He almost he led this race multiple times. He would have probably won it the 1 year if his tire didn't blow. He's definitely a guy, and now he hasn't run here as much as he has in years past. So maybe, but that guy unloads fast everywhere. That team is on another level this year than it's ever been.
Absolutely be a problem. 50 lasts a long time. But I think we just named 10 to 15 guys that are going to be a problem. So we're excited for it. We love it.
Stevie Buckwalter. Yeah. He's a sleeper guy. I could see him.
Talking about sleepers. Sleeper-wise, Stevie, Dylan Cisney.
Yeah.
Cisney just lurks out of the
it depends on the track conditions. The slower and slicker it is, the better Cisney's going to be. Mike Walter, great.
Mike Walter. Yeah.
Wagner. Jesus. Mike Wagner.
Yeah.
Really good this year. Okay. Jeff Halligan's fast. There's a lot of race cars at Port.
Keith Kaufman might just steal a car and win the race. You never know.
Who can contend in this? I think that there's a lot of cars that could run up front.
There are a dozen names that I would not be surprised with winning.
Easily. Which I wouldn't say at Williams Grove or Lincoln.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was just about to go.
Yeah. This is a track for me that, any of those guys that we mentioned, dark horse or not, it wouldn't surprise me they're in the top 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. Now, the cream rises to the top and you have the best of the best of the best. So maybe we're wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me. It just wouldn't.
How about Spencer Baston? Because his first weekend in this CJB5 car was the Outlaw race at Port Royal, and he won.
I put him in that low half of the dark horse sleeper types for this race. Or even a guy like Brock. I don't think he's racing the 50. Where is he? Is he one of the guys?
Didn't he come back and race? Did he race it last? No. What did he come back and race it this year?
He came back for Speed Week, I think.
But is he on the list to race it this year? Like,
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think
Hunter Shermer, another one in the same group, because like Brock he showed speed at Williams Grove, which is a place that
he was much faster than I thought he was going to be.
Historically, it's not been. I know he's won there a few times and some things went his way, but he's been stupid good at Port at times.
Mm-hmm.
So, wouldn't surprise me to see him up there fighting. Now, unlikely, but wouldn't be surprising.
He's definitely like a deep sleeper. I think he's going to have a hard enough time just making the feature, let alone competing for the win. But
I love how Jimmy's crashing back to earth on Brock over the last 12 months.
Yeah, I'm a fan. That's just being realistic. Hunter Schoenberg, he's another one that I feel like he's just like a sleeper. I think he's
speed. He'll be in the show, I think.
Yeah.
He's good at Port like that. And that's part of the reason he's in that car is I think his success and the way he gets around Port Royal and, it worked out. It's a good combo. But, I think he's a guy who has to have luck go right and he can do it. Just has to have luck go right, versus racing all the way up through and overcoming adversity necessarily. If he puts a perfect night together for him, he'll be there.
Jimmy, you know what to do.
Steph saying, I'm excited for Port Royal races this week. I love the announcers. Their energy is amazing.
I could
Just a little
tell
sample.
when he moved his hand up. When he moved his hand, I knew what he was doing.
Oh, baby, things are dang good. Can Lance take that spot away now?
That's one of the all-time Earl Hoon calls there. I love it.
Is my hero. I was going to suggest it, and I saw his hand move. I'm like, oh, he already knows.
Yeah. Can he
Jimmy
play?
and I are kind of married here. We know.
Oh, he does miss you being on the couch.
Yeah, see, look. It's so
that was a
empty.
comfy couch, man.
It's not a
Jimmy
camping couch. It's a Chris
I've slept
couch.
on that couch multiple times.
Yeah, Jimmy loves it. Dude, I slept
love
on this
that couch.
all the time.
Chris
In my
couch.
bed. No, I've had this thing since
Jimmy went for a job interview on Chris couch.
I can't tell my. Someday we're gonna do a broadcast on this couch. This couch has seen some
All
things.
three of us.
We saved you a spot last week and you told us to go.
Oh, baby, things are getting good. So yeah, 50. I mean, I think the 50 is going to be great. I'm hoping, they're starting at a normal time. It's a Thursday night though, so I have a feeling they're going to be able to do everything that they would normally do for a 50. To try to keep the show moving, probably.
The cool thing, $2,000 to start.
Yep.
That's where 50.
Holy shit!
Just to start.
Let's not ignore that detail because
you also have that non-qualifiers race as well.
Right, but promotion, $60,000 to win, $2,000 to start.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get race cars.
There's no reason you can't be there. There's free camping.
Yes, free camping.
Free camping. Bring a tent. Put a tent up there. Bring your shit. Stay all week. Stay all every day.
My plan is to camp Thursday because I think the bad part about it being Thursday is I think traffic's going to be a nightmare getting out of there. So I'm just going to stay and go to work Friday morning and then come back after if they race. And Friday, unfortunately, is not looking like a great weather forecast. But if they do race, I'll be back, and then Saturday as well. So
I'm not going. So somebody go make friends with Jimmy because he's going to be alone. He's going to be sad. He's going to cry.
No, I'll be with Brett.
You're not going.
Parago's going to be there. What's that?
I'll not be there this weekend
at all.
I scheduled this weekend off before the 50 got scheduled there, and stand your ground. I ain't moving.
Are you going to be in town?
Yeah, I'll be at my house. Ish.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, he's out of here.
So he's gone.
1.5 terribles. Oh wait, there's 3 of us. Shit, that don't make sense.
That's dumb. But
okay. I got my Trust Square 50 shirt from the first time I tried.
So anyway, if you can make it there, you should definitely go there. Don't be a Chris.
It's not my fault Port Royal smoked a ciggy.
Oh, all right. So Matt Trace, this is a great question. Different perspective question. Who could you see miss one of the 3 shows that you wouldn't think not qualify? That's usually pretty good at Port.
Danny.
For me, what?
Danny Dietrich.
That's a good one. He wasn't even in my thoughts of like the 12 favorites.
Because he was actually one of my fringe thoughts of picking the win, but I also know he could go the other way so quick.
Hunter Schoenberg.
At the same way I felt good about what I said, I could see it going this way is Jeff Halligan because the last time up there he struggled. And they've struggled a little bit more this year. They haven't had that consistent speed they did last year. I could see him running up front, but I could also see him struggling. They did the last time they were there. And I would also say the same thing from Mike Wagner because I think it could go the other direction just as easily. He's been good this year, heavy and slick, but all it takes is one time trial. And if you don't hit time trials right, it could be a challenge for him with this field of cars.
No, we did not get our sign back.
And we were hoping whoever it was would have brought our sign and posted it up on their camper at the National Open, so we could burn their camper down. But we did not get that opportunity.
Pussies.
You guys will fight them this weekend. It's fine.
So
I'm not fighting anybody.
I didn't say fight them. I said find it. Whoa.
Oh, well. I'm not finding or fighting anybody.
Except for our fans.
Parker Price Miller's another one. He's fast, but he's so hit or miss at times. Yeah, he's definitely. He won there.
What car is he going to be in? Wait,
he'll be in the 9, right?
I do think.
People confuse who's in what car because they don't.
I know.
Between him and Corey Lyson, I don't know what cars they're in anymore. I forget who's in what car.
It's been a whack year. But we'll be remiss to say that Brian Brown is not in this conversation. He's been fast, been around.
Yeah, he's been better this year than he has been in years
again,
past.
one of those guys that could make the show and be like, "Holy shit, Brian Brown might win this," and be like, "Oh shit, Brian Brown missed the show. What the hell?" Like he's that same kind of guy.
Yeah.
Recently, let's see where Steelers grow.
Shit, I could see that with like Shots. I mean, he was fringe on making it at Williams Grove.
Yeah, but
he had to come back. He had to take a provisional.
Yeah, but
he started 27th.
Shots loves killing our happiness in Posse Land, so he's probably going to be starting on the pole.
Steve,
I think. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, if it's an Outlaw, I'm thinking McFadden. I'm thinking Brock. I'm thinking
Macedo for sure.
No, I think Macedo makes it no matter what. He has that roll speed throughout a whole night. I think Brock, McFadden,
Baston.
Logan a little bit. Logan's good, but Port is a specialty. I don't know.
I don't even know if Logan's
I can see that.
yet.
I can see that going either way there.
Todd Shield too. I mean, I could see
actually Sheldon was who was on my mind first.
Yeah.
Live and die by the top, right? So we'll see. Better showing at the Natty because the first Friday night was not good. So it was a good bounce back for sure. But it's all about that time trial. And please, for the love of God, Port Royal, can we have time trials on the fence because that's the best Port Royal.
Yeah.
The last couple times we were there, it was just unbelievable watching time trials, and they're ripping the fence.
Dude.
So
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
And all you do is you hear any little throttle pickup there, anywhere on the track. It's great. I love time trials at Port. I mean, you see, Lincoln's like that too, but
the only thing that would make this whole thing better is if they didn't have to run mufflers some night.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Miss that. I mean, Port Royal, no mufflers, time trials. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right in my veins, buddy.
Sheesh.
But yeah, what else?
Yeah, I mean, are you guys going to have your terrible shirts at Port this weekend?
We can.
If you're not going to be there,
if you're not going to be there, you hold the shirts.
If somebody wants to grab them, I said.
That sounds like Chris needs to come to Port and we have some buyers for shirts, maybe.
Or it's on me because I go by his house. So
okay, we'll figure it out. Aunt Bay.
Aunt Bay is gonna be at Bridgeport tomorrow with Kyle.
Yeah, good luck to Kyle.
They're gonna go rip it. They're gonna probably win.
Amanda, we'll try to have shirts. We'll get that figured out. And if not, send us a DM. Through Facebook, and we'll link up with you. We'll send it to you if we have to, if you're really interested in a shirt. So appreciate it. We do have a bunch left. Chris has the inventory.
Anything from small to 3X, we have it all.
Yes.
So let us know if you're at Port. We'll get there. Otherwise, let us know for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Trying to get Amanda a shirt here. Kyle, I got yours and Andy's. The next time I see you.
Kyle, I messaged you and you ignore me. And you didn't get fired.
That sounds good. I'll be there most likely, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, message us. Let us know size and stuff. We'll reserve it for you.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll have our banner hanging and turned. Never mind.
No, never mind.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to find out how much a billboard is to sponsor at Port Royal. So
maybe no guy.
Maybe Get
Can't
turn
steal
2
that.
terribles add up
Kyle,
in turn 2.
Kyle, I have yours and Andrew's obviously set aside. Actually, they're with Jimmy.
Yeah, that's why I just said. I said I have them. Those are the only 2 I have. We'll talk about all this off the air.
I just wanted to talk shit to Kyle some more.
What did you think of the cook-off on Saturday, JZ? I did not make it.
Yeah, JZ, you went to chili cook-off. How about that?
Well, I went to the last 38 seconds of the chili cook-off, and people were pretty much done because I got there so late. I did not get one bite of chili, and that's all I wanted to do. And you guys were tallying votes by the time I got there, so I saw the end of it. Very cool, though. You could tell what people put into it. It was important. They handed out $1,000 to the winner of a chili cook-off.
So
That's incredible.
Why did you wake up earlier?
Oh, well, because you degenerates had me up too late Friday night.
Me? I was home.
You're right. You FDS'd it and went home every night. So
your home is practically closer than my tent was.
I was home. That's true.
Yeah, we know when you were home. We turn around and Chris is gone again.
I was home with my Mellow Yellows Friday night, 10 o'clock.
And you're missing this weekend. I mean, you
Yeah.
know what?
I don't even know if you're a fan anymore.
Were you even in the picture for
National Open fan? That's who I am.
Jeez, man, I tell you what.
Ashley Capetta.
Hi, Ashley.
What a segue.
Ashley will be on the show next week. We're going to talk about the Sterner. So definitely tune in next week. She'll be on. We'll be talking about that.
I'm excited for that race.
Jimmy,
Big finish at Lincoln this year, so pretty happy.
Jeremy, you'll be delighted to know I intend on being at the Sterner.
Oh, and they're like sportsmen running or something?
No, Ashley talked me into
the real reason Chris can't go to Port this weekend is because he's got to go watch the street stocks at BAPS, the Street Stock Nationals or whatever.
That's also the same weekend as Sterner, but good try there, buddy.
Steph's calling for your head that you should be fired, and I'm in agreement.
He's going to Bridgeport to watch Street Stock.
I thought you were going out of town for the weekend, and that's why you weren't going, and you're just choosing not to go.
You could fire me, and I'll just sit in the comment section and berate you guys for.
Chris passed, coming back to haunt us. Yeah, Steph, come up meet us for sure. I don't know how to find us, but we'll be there.
I'd like to get to Lincoln one more time. We'll see how it works out next
sure
weekend.
I'll be near the sandbox area because I'll have my child there. Okay. And that sandbox is probably where I'm going to be base camped at.
It's probably where you'll be.
That's the line where everybody goes to the bathroom. That the whole line of shitters there. Great area to be in.
Bury me in Hanover.
Yeah, bury me in the sand in Hanover. Great. Jesus. No, actually, we're looking forward to having you on.
Yes.
I want to hear a little bit about kind of what you've done and what's going on that weekend, and talk a little bit about track promotion. And you've now lived this side of it thoroughly, so we're excited to have that conversation, and we'll be as fair and friendly as we can, not to you, but to the tracks.
And if anyone hasn't seen how much Ashley Capetta's put into this,
a lot.
And even Lincoln's doing it like almost every day, posts about what they're offering for prizes, a fan zone from 4 to 5, getting feedback even earlier. Dakota, you ain't seen me drunk yet.
Drunk with mellow yellow.
Seeing what Ashley's put into this as far as setting up with tracks and like the fan zone 4 to 5 that day, like just every day. Dakota's made herself conscious now. Dakota, you don't even know what drunk me looks like.
It looks like the same you.
It's just the same him, but just slower.
The only difference is there actually isn't one.
His thoughts are happening, but his mouth isn't moving. But he goes, ah.
I'm at Rocket League time, boys. Good job, Dakota. You killed them. They're dead.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm crying. So yes. Did you guys walk around the Blooms for Fair measuring sound levels? No, I boycotted the fair.
George was too busy being drunk.
Yeah, I was thinking about it though, especially when they were having their demolition derbies and tractor pulls that are louder than the race cars. I digress.
cars in the demolition derby?
What's that?
Do they have to have mufflers on the cars for the demolition derby?
No, no one cares.
I did drive through town, and there's a lot of signs out for $5 parking on their lawns.
Oh,
So-
nice.
You live in a dumb
Must be
city.
nice. Huh?
You live in a dumb city.
I don't live in Bloomsburg. I live next to Bloomsburg. But yes,
Guilty
dumbass
by
town.
Association.
Anyway.
Beautiful town. Beautiful town.
Anyway,
beautiful fairground.
we
Dumb
don't care
town
about-
people. The people
we
are dumb.
We don't care about towns without racetracks. So, see you next week. Ashley Capetta.
Yes,
Fire
Ashley Capetta
Memorial.
next week. Port Royal this weekend. Me and Jay-Z will at least be there because we're real race fans.
That's right.
And yeah, come find us. If you want a shirt, send us a message on Facebook. We'll get in. We'll link up
We'll
with you
make
in
it
some
happen.
way. Even if that means we got to send it to you. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Cool.
Have a great
Thanks
night.
for everybody tuning in. Have a great one.
Yeah, thank you.